an independent mind for Better Liberia of the folks are from the US. Shortly we go across. My name is Princess Kamara, your producer right here. Thanks to all of you who following this morning. Let's run quickly for cross over to General to bring forth the program Independent Mind for Better Liberia. Let's run quickly for a bit of the theme song right here.
Oh, Liberia, wake up time, oh, time for the people to talk. Independent minds for a better Liberia. Independent minds, let the voices be heard. From Montserrat to Grande Bay, Maryland, Lofa, Nimba, and Bombi, Majibi, Bassa, and Riverside, Refugee, Grand Croix, and Sino. Ideals rising from every town, speaking the truth and lifting the nation. Progress, unity, transformation. Independent minds for a better Liberia. Independent minds, let the people speak. Hosted by Moni Keshin, the General. A strong voice for the people every day. Call out. Live on Kear Radio FM 95.9 and Top FM in Grand Gede. Streaming on KCNTV and TGNTV, Facebook and YouTube. Independent minds, the future is bright. Independent minds, Liberia, unite. Independent minds, the future is bright. Independent minds, Liberia. Woo!
Okay, it's good to be back. Let's now cross over to John, the General. Yeah, the General. Me bring you live
Yeah,
again.
good morning, Princess. How are you this morning?
Yeah, I'm okay. Let's go. We back.
Okay. Oh, that's good. Thank God for life. Good morning, Liberians. Today on Independent Minds for a Better Liberia, we confront a question that can no longer be hidden. Who is responsible for creating jobs in Liberia? The government, the private sector, or the suffering Liberian people who are responsible to create jobs? Because when we look around, we want jobs. But everybody's saying different things, but also we need jobs. The gas price is still climbing. It's crippling the Liberian people who in transportation, people who finding their way home, people with the private cars. There are a lot of things. Well, today, what's the price of gasoline? I see some places 9.10. I see some people 9.50. I see some places over $1,000. So imagine once that gas price continue to climb, the people will suffer. So who responsible? What happened with our border? Information gathering that the Guineans have withdrawn their troops from the border. But are we safe in Liberia? Because whenever we hear about two countries sending military to the border, the next thing that comes to our mind, why are we going back to war? We're not hearing from the government. I was watching the news. I see Guinean, the government educating the people, telling them, oh no, there will be no war. But in our country, we can't hear from our president. We can't hear from the government. What is really going on when it comes to this border issue? We see our citizens running from Lofa County. Let them tell us the truth. Please, we were in war before. We know what happened. I know the children who were born in 1990 or even in 2000 never experienced war. So, but people who know about war is not a good thing. And also, is the justice system working for us? We heard about a very high profile case concerning Samuel Jackson, his home. But guys, the justice system is not how you feel about the justice system. Little justice is blind. But when they say the law is blind, does not mean that the law favors certain people. The law do not look at your tribe, your political affiliation, your religion. Just go directly by the Constitution. So our emotions does not work when it comes to the law. So if there is no evidence to prosecute him, that's it. But the fact is that we know people play with and evidence too much in our country, and that's why we see today government cannot even win cases. So let's go by. Welcome. We'll open the lines. We want you to participate. This is your show. And also on Monday, I'll be bringing a young man called Leo, the only Liberian who built the biggest library in Liberia just by soliciting funds from around the world. Of Patriot, live in District 5. I will be bringing him on next week, Monday. So just get ready. We'll ask all the necessary questions. So tell me, who is responsible to create jobs in Liberia? Is the government responsible to create jobs or the private sector? Government create avenues to create jobs. But if the avenue is not created, there will be no jobs, because people who are in business are going through hell. When you ship your things through the port of Monrovia, it's like you're going to hell. Like you're going to hell. We see Liberians shipping the things to Sierra Leone. We see Liberians coming through Guinea. Why? What Guinea doing better than us or Sierra Leone that our own port cannot help? I see NGO bringing things in the country, and they barely can even have the non-profit status. Imagine you bringing things in the country to help your people, but they're telling you should pay. You're spending over $13,000, $14,000 at the port. Things that you will not benefit. You have no profit. It's just non-profit to give to Liberians. They charge you. But yet we see government people, government officials getting some benefits through the port, like the lawmakers. They have two different, year time, they have two, I think, duty free. So who is responsible to create jobs? Government create the avenues for private sector to create jobs. Our people need jobs. But today, government is the highest employer. Everybody want to work in government. Everybody want that political appointment from government. No. Once government create the avenue and there's jobs for our people, nobody going to worry about government jobs. Nobody. So that's why we're saying that let's government create the other government be friendly. Bring in business people, protect the business people. When you protect the businessman, then, or because of money, we have increased our budget. That is why it would be very hard for government to create the avenues for jobs. Because imagine Labor Ministry will be giving work permit to a foreigner just to drive. They will give work permit to foreigner who will come and start cooking. You won't tell me there's no cook in Liberia. There is no driver in Liberia. There's no mechanic in Liberia. That is why they have the Liberianization policy. There are certain jobs in Liberia can never be given out. Why? We treat foreigners like citizens, and we treat the citizens like foreigner. This is not today. It's been happening long ago. So don't think this is not politics. These are things that have been happening long time. We see our brothers and sisters from foreign countries holding big positions, working in our government, and we wouldn't have the same opportunity in the other country. We were in a refugee camp. There's a Canadian lady that told us, she said, listen, because of the way you treat people in your country, so you expect them to treat you the same. No, it don't work that way. I remember when Liberians took the working hard training in Ghana, most of the people that passed that test were Liberians. The Ghana professor, instructor told us, he said, listen, we don't have jobs in Ghana. We will give Ghanaians the job first. And the only Liberians that got jobs that are those that who could speak the tree. The man told Australia, yes, there's no job. There's no job. And we treat, I don't understand. We are good people, but we We look at outsider, we respect outsider than our own people. We should respect outsider. You and Lebanese men go and get a contract. They will give that contract to the Lebanese man, or they will give it to the Indian man, or they will give it to the foreigner and don't give it to you, because they know that they will get their cut. Because they know that the Lebanese man is brave enough to give them the 10% or the 20%. So you see, that is what we're talking about. Hold on 1 minute, please. Yeah, sorry, my internet was trying to mess up, so I saw it blinking, and now you got to be fast to put it on. So these are the things that we're talking about. So that will be hard. It will be so hard for us to create jobs, because business people will come and leave. Only the ones who are who believe that, well, since people love corrupt things, will stay in Liberia. Will stay there. So what's the price today? Keke driver, private driver, taxi driver. If you even standing up to the marketplace, how is everything going? How's the prices? We'll open the line. We want the first 5 or 10 callers. We'll open. Let's hear from you. You are the one on the ground. Don't make up the price. Where you standing? If you see the price on the wall, they say gasoline is $800. Say it. If they say gasoline is $1,200, say this is not about criticizing the government. We try to hold the government feet to the fire. There are certain things in times of crisis. Government got to do certain things to stabilize the economy in a way that, like even the telephone, we need to reduce the telephone price, the data prices. You go to Ethiopia today, you pay $10 a month. Go and do your research. $10 a month for unlimited calls and data. You pay over $100, less than maybe $120 a year, because they want these people to call their family around the world. And, if you can't do everything, there's certain things you must give the people. How will we create jobs? Oh, yeah, we want development. That's true. We want development. We want good roads. But we build the roads and no jobs? No. And even the roads that we're building is still not creating jobs, because how many Liberians going to get a job? We need jobs in Nima County, in Bon County, in Lofa County, all around Liberia, in the 73 district. We want our people to be comfortable. You go to Grand Gillette today, it's the same thing. The schools, the healthcare system, it's terrible. I say, we want development. Everybody wants development. Whether you're opposition, you're in position, you're ruling party, no Liberian will go against development. We want roads. So it is our money. You can bring 500 yellow machines. It belongs to the Liberian people, and we will pay that debt. Our children will pay that debt. So that's not, they're doing good. What are good doing? They're building roads. They're doing good. What are some of the goods? We just brought in yellow machine. Government is like an autopus. Every limbs on that autopus is operate on its own. You cut one, the other one can still function. So you can build roads, the Ministry of Education should function. You building bridges, the Ministry of Commerce must function. Whatever you're doing, everybody should have the responsibility. That is why they say government. That is why they have ministries that and other autonomous agencies. So everything should work perfectly. We're not hearing gas price going up. Our people going to suffer. And once our people suffering, we always suffer, because we'll receive that calls. Instead of sending $10, now we'll be sending $5. I know it will be hard, and things will continue to go up. Yes, we know that. The rice price, is the rice still $14? Let me hear from you. Please open the line. Is the rice still 14, or is the gas price going down or continue to climb? Please open the line. Let's hear from our people.
Okay. So folks, those of you following in, you want to weigh in, the time is now. All you need to do, call us on 0777 959 959, 0881-871-670. Tell us how much for a bag of rice in your area. Is it $13, $14? Is it $15? Recent time, how much you are buying a bag of rice. And the price of gasoline, we started on yesterday, and we continue with this one. Just call us, tell us how is it like from your end in terms of purchasing a bag of rice. So this person, our first caller, good morning.
No, my little girlfriend.
Yeah, DJ Constance. Let's hear you.
Okay,
Good
good.
morning.
Good afternoon, good morning. I call you my private moment in La Pasi. Look, for me, the rest price is still at the 14 cents in my community.
Mm-hmm.
But let me emphasize on something. I like the brother who I know is look, you see, what we're going through in Liberia is no rule, no law. Everybody does their own thing. Because you see the grab price going up. I was not texting on Saturday or Sunday, and then the government tell her that talk out. Okay, you see from EFW Junction to Farmer House,
Mm-hmm.
it's 200, and meanwhile it should be $100. But then before the gas price went up, people were charging 200 and putting 4 in the back. So if you were $100, you're charging 150 before the gas price went up. Then what they need is tapping the price on. Secondly,
That's the
if
question.
you say, you say now, if real light to broadsheet is 250, it's 300. That used to be 250. That real light broadsheet it was 250 since early time.
Mm-hmm.
Since early time, you are waiting on it, and then early time the gas is coming down more. 1,002, 1,000, 900, 800, a far 650. And you bring that price down. Now the gas goes to 900. Why increase it to 300?
Mm.
So the government is just acting don't care, and the people are just making the price double, and then you take it 3 in the value. Normally it's 2. So the government is not working at all, and this is maybe a part of it is a sabotage leadership because he's not going to go in the street. He got people responsible for this. That's sabotage.
Mm-hmm.
Then you see girl like 2 hours a day. This is a sabotage. And the government, the president does not know, but nobody can tell me you don't know what's going on. 2 hours like a day, 2 hours like a day, 24 hours, 2 hours. It's so bad. That's
Okay.
my take, I'm ready to give in.
Thank you. Thank you so much, DJ Constant. Still taking more of your calls. 0777 959 959 0881 How much for a bag of rice in your area? Is it 13? Is it 14, 15? Or how much for a gallon of gasoline in your area as well? We want to know this morning. This is Independent Minds for Better Liberia right here on Kear Radio FM 95.9. So folks, call us 0777 959 0881 We run back to the line. Let's hear from this person. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, my sister.
Yeah, morning. Good to have you. Your name and where you join us from.
My name is Mark Farrell. I'm a social media woman.
Mm-hmm. Let's hear you.
Yes, but the respect is still the same.
Mm.
But the transportation, still high. Leaving Cocotan from Cocotan to Vele was $100. When you going on bus at $50, you come by, you pay $100. But now, it's $100 to go. Then, when you come by, you pay $150. The rest, also I can buy my restaurant, and rest is $15. Because I can take it, I do for the money and pay.
Mm-hmm.
It's credit. So when you go buy gas, I'm at 2007.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so
Wow.
much.
Okay.
No.
Need to go for the condition in lower that the highest that is this thing I worry me.
Okay. Thank you. Still taking more of your calls. Liberian, it's time to interact. Let's hear from you. What are some of those challenges faced by all of us? How much for a bag of rice in your area? Is it 13, 14, 15? And how much for a gallon of gasoline, fuel, or whatever? How much you paying to come to town or to go out on your number activities as compared to past times? 0777 959 959 0881 871 670. Let's hear from you. It's time we interact. We want to know. This is Independent Minds for Better Liberia. We take all of your calls before we cross over. At this point in time, the opportunity is now is given to you. Let's hear from you. All of those burning issues across our country. We go back to the line and interact with this person. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning again, Matthew. My son is running keke. He told me that he can buy the gas system for 110 and 910. But
Mhm.
later, they come to 950. So that's how you buying it.
Okay.
The whole thing, when you buy it 910 now, with the 950, that $40 business, they want charge all that money. You know when Liberia men hear two more problems, they can see the gas, they never bought the gas for that press. They can have it. Then why should they carry up to that press? They get one for the millionaire to suffer in this country as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sarah. You can also do the same. We want to hear from you. We want to know what are some of those things, the changes of goods in different parts of Liberia. How much for a gallon of gasoline in your area? Those of you following us online, different areas, different parts of the country, in Lima, River G, Grand G, Sino, everywhere, wherever you are. Once you are in Liberia, we want to hear from you. Call us on 0777 959 959 0881 871 670. How much for a gallon of gasoline? How much you are paying for transportation? Is it the same or is it more? We want to hear from you. We want to know what are some of those things we are faced with, especially at this point in time. Okay, so I think at this point we can just go back general, and I'm seeing
Okay.
Julius
Thank
as
you. I want to
well.
welcome Julius. How are you this morning, Julius?
I'm doing good, Manette. How you doing? How you
Okay,
doing,
good. Yeah.
Princess?
Yeah, I'm
Thank
good.
God. You
Good.
see, I listened to the first caller and he said something. Even if the Obama just left the line.
Mhm.
You know, Liberians sometimes we take advantage of our own people. The price, the transportation was higher. Now, just for this raising the price going up, now everybody taking advantage. Then with the little thing at the border, people increasing. Imagine rice was 17.50. The cup of rice was $50 in the market. It's still $50 the rice 114. So we ourselves, we doing things we want 100% profit. And Liberians, we buy something for $5, we want to sell it $10. And then when you look at the other foreigners doing that thing, you say, but wait now, where they getting the goods from? But we all getting the goods from the same place. So Liberians, sometimes we got to understand, but who to be blamed is the government. If the child is rude, the child disturbing the community, the father and the mother are responsible. So there is no law. So I agree with the first guy. Look, I imagine from ERW Junction to Vamuma House. Look how much you're paying. Now the gas continue to go up. Some people, how much for gas in Magibi? 1,200.
Yeah,
So people
no
paying up to
specific price.
$500 now just to come to the junction. Like Princess, I show I feel it's so
Oh yeah,
bad.
I pay
Your
500,
transportation go up
500.
high
Yeah,
because she's
500.
from
So it's
Magibi.
600 just to come to town from where I live
You
is
see,
100 and
600 now.
500 just to get
And
to
her
town. So,
salary going to remain the same.
oh
So
yeah.
nothing changed. Judas, I mean, it's so it's sorry, it's sad because our problem here, people don't understand, like brother, when these things happen, we feed it. Because I bet you when I check, when you look on your cell phone right now, you just came from Liberia. I know you have received calls and say, "Be brother, not easy to deal." I say, I just hear my phone, poop, poop. Some people want $10, some people want $20, some people begging for $5.
Mm.
Can't be left waiting. This thing is killing us, it's killing everybody. What is the government doing when it comes to the prices in Liberia?
You know, Manette, good morning, first of all, and good morning to the good people of Liberia. Great to be on again this morning with you all, Princess. Thank you
Yeah.
once more for the commitment and the sacrifice being made.
Mm.
You know, Manette, every time I have the opportunity to speak to Liberians, my focus normally is on the group of people that I try to focus on, and that actually it go in this order. I look at the babies. Okay, I said there are the first group of vulnerable people in any society. Now, excuse me, a little early, can't get my words out, but I'll get it out. Um, the group of vulnerable people in it, the women, children, the elderly folks, and then the people with special need. All right. I listened to the second caller, and if I heard her right, she says she's visually impaired. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now that the next question that came to my mind was, okay, what are we doing about people with special need? I have time without number. Okay. Ask people who consider themselves representatives and senators. My name. Excuse me, let me just deviate a little bit. In other parts of the world where you and I live, transportation, every community, every city, every state have vehicles that are specifically for people with special need. Is that wrong?
True.
Exactly. What would it take for our government? You pay lawmakers $15,000 a month. What would it take for you to make budgetary allocations for each district to at least have one public transportation for people with special needs?
Yep.
Nobody else can access that vehicle. People with special need. You make that vehicle available so that if the people in district number 15 or district number 13 are actually on the road and the people with special need, they have the ID cards that show that they live in that area, they access that public transportation. That way, you are simply protecting them. They will not have to fight for public transportation to hurt themselves. The government must show that she's concerned about the people. The government cannot ignore these people. They are the most vulnerable group of people, Manette. The women, the children, the elderly, and people with special needs. And if you listen, when Mr. Cummings said these vulnerable group of people must be taken as priorities.
Yes.
That is the reason why when things are happening in the country, when our women, our sisters, our daughters are being abused, you must put them at the very top of the chain. You must fight for them. Okay, you must protect them against abuse. These things cannot be done by individual citizens. They cannot be done by private citizens. Those elected, those you appointed must be the one to actually spearhead, to lead the process of transformation. You're talking about transportation. You're talking about the increase in gas price. Nothing is regulated. Individual citizens will never regulate the prices for you. The government must have some kind of mechanism put in place for that to happen. It will not happen. Trust me, my very self here, if you were to put me in the streets to sell gasoline, and I noticed that this a price hike in food and other produce, what do you think I'm going to do? Because I want to send my kids to school. I want to feed myself. So that little cheat is going to come in. But when things are regulated, the government is doing her part. Where things are regulated and they are standardized, you realize that everybody will conform to certain aspect. They will do things. I'm not saying there won't be cheaters. There will be cheaters, but it won't be at this extreme where you have people with special need who are they're just victimized. These things can't simply be, oh, that's how it always been in Liberia, so it must continue, unless you really don't care about yourself, unless you really don't care about your future generation, unless you don't care about your kids. You know, the other day I was on another platform, I was on another program. I said our parents got us here. And I think for the most part, the elderly folks are very selfish. Those who were born in the 60s, the 70s, they got us in this place we are today. And they're not doing much to help us get out of it. They got us here and they left us here. Those in the 80s, going to the 90s, then we are just making things worse by subscribing to the level of corruption that is going on now. We are not fighting back to say, no, we would not leave this country the way we met it. Instead, we are simply saying every time, oh, that's how it was Since 1847, Liberia been like this. But guess what? Other country and other citizens came and met their country the way it was, or the way they met it. And guess what they did? They participated, they contributed to the transformation, money. We cannot leave Liberia the way it is. Look, if we had good government in place, our military would be well equipped. Guinea would dare not think about moving near Liberia. First and foremost, the first thing that's going to go to the mind is Liberia in Africa is America. And seeing what America is capable of doing, there's a possibility that they will get the needed support. But
Yep.
when your government herself is barely doing anything, what do you think other countries would think of us? When the government that is supposed to protect the sovereignty of the nation is invading other people's properties, the demolition of innocent people's homes. How are you protecting these people? Money, there are a whole lot of things that we must talk about on a daily basis. And that's why I commend you for consistently and continuously coming on here and trying to engage our people on the way you do. It's difficult. Sometimes you get up in the morning, like you rightfully said, Money. You got messages flowing in. But if we were creating the enabling environment, Money, as we gradually work our way towards the summer, let me end on this note. If young people were being provided summer job, like the case over here, as summer approaches, they're hiring at McDonald's, Burger King, all of these different businesses. They're hiring students from high school and those who are of the age to work. By the time it's time to go back to school, some of those kids are already, they're ready. The parents will purchase the back to school items, but at least they have money to do other things that they want to do. Even though the school provide food for them to eat, the school provide security, the nurses at the school, they are there. People will say to you, you cannot compare Liberia to America. Are the Americans smarter than us? Is that what you
No.
say to yourself? Are the Caucasians smarter than us? No, they're not. The Caucasians are not the one you call white people. They're not smarter than us. We are far smarter than them. But the reason why we continue to remain in this level of depression is because your very self, you support the very people who are stealing from you because they gave you a couple of dollars. Why are you doing this to yourself? When somebody who believes that they can help transform the country comes up, you say, I don't know you. Before I got hired to my place of employment, nobody knew my tribe. Nobody knew my skin color. The pigment of my skin did not matter. It was what I could contribute to the institution. Could I be an asset or a liability? If that was determined that I would be a liability, then I would never be considered. That's the reason why you give it probationary period. Money, our people need to think better. But I'll start here for now, so you all princes can charm in, and then I will come back in. But I just wanted to start off on that note. Our people with special need, our brothers and sisters visually impaired, or even some kind of physical disability, we must make sure that those people be given special treatment in society. Job opportunity should be given to them. At least 30% of every employment area should be given to them. They should have their own public transportation. Every district should make it available. It's not impossible. We have the money. But our leaders, a bunch of corrupt people, they're not making it happen. I feel sorry hearing the sister say that this morning. I feel real bad.
Okay, so let me
Yes.
just go back to the line. You got this person that been here so long.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, let's hear you. Let's hear you quickly.
I'm going to give let me emphasize on the thing that the brother said. Because you see, the in the world of disability, or myself, I'm a visually impaired person, but you know, we in Liberia, we actually want to live on hand out forever. So, though I'm not in favor of the government, but no matter what the government does, for any, let's look at the visually impaired person, they will still be sending waiting for another hand. But the only thing, the government just choose to say, okay, all the visually impaired person will give you 150 or 200 every month. That you see, after that 3, 4, 5 months, you see bad guys back in the street. Now you talk about yes, there is system, but it's not for out of town. You got an empty carrying people that are very free. It's also in Ghana, but yeah, it's regular that to only Morovia, only Morovia, Alamora no you pay. But in Ghana, it's for 2 days, Tuesday and Wednesday, and Tuesday and Thursday. And they tell you the rule is you have to carry a guy. If you can't carry a guy, they won't carry you. So you have 2 seats in a bus. With a padam in Ghana, they give padam to pay your way for when the bus will pull you down. That's Tuesday and Thursday. Now in Nigeria, I live in Nigeria, Robert agent. So Nigeria, they got it on the government, only the local government, they got the state government transport. It is every day. You carry guy, you carry guys every day. But what different for our own years? If I was different for everything, Nigeria is only Lagos. Ghana is everywhere, and Liberia is only Morovia. So if you don't have money to go Liberia, you're on your own. That's why you don't have money to go and Liberia because you're on your own, won't carry free. But in Morovia, you're never carry free. That's the genesis of the hope for people with disabilities. But if we expect, like for example, there's a guy who killed himself at the Obama house. The government divided 125 each of them. The guy got up and said the money was small. I was sitting there, 8 o'clock in the night. And people were saying, oh, you got to see your friend. You're not seeing him in the middle of the road. I called the 2 police officers. I said, go and move that guy. He said, Achu Namula Gatayo. They went and moving. The guy was bless him up. He will leave, walk back. And when we walk back, a taxi hit him. That taxi didn't start. He landed on the ground. So I asked the police guy, go and help and move him. They went and moving. You see, he went back. He went back this time, a jeep hit him and dragged him. At the end of the day, they took him to JFK and he died. So maybe the money they help to us, with disability. I don't know how we can receive the kind of money from government.
Okay.
We take the money small, then when you take the money small, you take it. Then the next thing, you don't take it, you get drunk and stay in the street. So government is working. I'm not inside the government. Government is working. We got to take it out of ourselves. Vision impaired.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
listen,
you so much.
he's right. And what Julius said, look, they got something called tough love. Your own kids in the house, you give them padam, and you notice that your son's smoking.
There you go.
You give them everything. Your son still causing trouble. Why are you giving your son that? Listen, we need to teach our people. The first thing to know that all these little things we're giving is all political. The 125 we're giving them. Which of the businesses in Liberia that have a parking lot that's it for handicap? You go in the supermarket, or wheelchair cannot go in the supermarket to show that the government self not even ready. And they're doing it the wrong way. Look, these people, like vision impaired people, I see some people going to school, they are smart, but no job. You want to give this person 125, and this person took 12 years, 14 years to go to school. You can't even make them a receptionist. Let's ask our lawmaker today, how many disadvantage or how many of these people you got in your offices today to be a receptionist or chief of staff? Look, my lawmaker, the first time I met the senator of Jersey here, the man walked on me and asked me if I'm a voter. I didn't even know who the guy was. This guy was running for office. I don't know him from nowhere. But I never asked him, say, but my man, what you give me before you come and ask me? So these are the things we're talking about. Look, these people are special people. The first thing we got to put in place, we got to get them off the street. They're not crazy people. Yes, they will beg. You give them $100 because you already spoil them. You go to group of 77. They will be begging. These people can work. Give them job. They can be a receptionist. They can go to schools building and open the door. Give them something to do. Nothing is free. Look, Liberia cannot be the same. Teach these people how to work. And
but many, who doesn't?
Julia, how many handicap you got to your place working in? Even the job that you're doing, not everybody that walk, like the guys who put in a wheelchair, they are IT specialists. They sit in a wheelchair. So you don't have to take them, but you go to Johnson Street, you see these people sitting down, and the lawmaker will stop there, take off 500 or 1,000 liberty, and give everybody $100. You expect the man the next day, he's waiting for it. He waiting. So we got to do something. They got the good ones who want to change. Like what the guy just said, yes, the government gave you 125. But you think it's enough? You already making the man lazy. And we're lazy people already. You tell when I want free thing, the thing free, I will continue to beg for it. So Liberians, that is our situation. But the government is responsible. Yes, what you say, Princess?
Yeah, and one of the quarter stress a very important point. He talked about people making use. I think it was the lady. Yes, he talked about the people making use of opportunity. This is my point. Prior to even government, coming up with this gasoline crisis or gasoline issue, we already been paying the exact fare from different location, even at the time when gasoline was high, and after gasoline dropped, it just remained the same. So now, how can we continue paying? What happens if gasoline drops? So if we are paying 600 now, it might even remain 600. And so it's just something that government just need to do more. They need to step in. Government needs to at least feel for the people, because general, I might have it to come in town, but other people, that they are seriously challenged. You have to come to work, and you can be leaving from your home. Imagine paying 600 just to get to work and 600 to go back. You're not even eating. Let's forget about eating your lunch or whatever. But then this is an old age problem. So if we were to pay that amount of money at the time when gasoline went up, even when gasoline dropped, the prices remain the same. Why is it that we should even increase it? That's my point. And so let it just remain there. Say we're paying 200 to come to town because at the time government said the gasoline we have shortages. So let it just remain. But we can be paying 200, then go back again, then we go again and add the money. Also, it's like exploiting from the citizens.
And then even if they bring the gas back, if they bring the gas back, the price is going to remain the same. They're not.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, we'll just be paying 600. So when it go up again, we go back to 800.
These are things that we talk about every day. Then just waiting, and Julia, so we'll go to the next topic.
But Manet, here's your reality though. I just listened to you and Princess and the last caller, and you know what both of you guys are telling me? The government is not doing her job.
No,
the government is responsible to regulate prices.
Not the ordinary people. No, not
the government is responsible to regulate prices.
That's the issue, Julius. The government said back and government will tell you, say we are going to do this, but the laws are weak. The enforcement is weak, and
that's the problem. And that's the problem. That's the reason why I keep reminding Liberians. We need somebody who will ascend to power, not with the expectation of getting rich. A lot of the people, if you look in the West, and I continue to compare Liberia to the West because I believe we are smart. We are good enough to surpass the West. We can do far better than the Western world. Yeah. If you look around you in the Western world, vast majority of people who ascend to public offices are people who already have professions. These are professional people who are doing good in their professions, and now they simply just want to impact society and leave behind legacy. Okay? So when they're opportune to serve, they identify specific areas and say, upon my departure, let me leave this as a legacy. Identify the issue of drugs abuse, an example. Okay? And I'm going to fight rigorously. I'm going to do everything to make sure that by the time I'm no longer in office, there will be this law or there will be this policy put in place that would be under my legacy. Presidents come into power and say, upon my departure, I want this bill that was signed to have been under my legacy. Let it be my legacy, under my name, the Obamacare. Today, Obama is credited for that in the United States. The same thing could happen in Liberia. But you must have that president who has the political will and will say to you, I'm looking at you, Princess. You're driving to work every morning. You have to pay $5. How does that impact your life? What is happening? What is the Commerce Ministry doing? What are different agencies? What are they doing? Those who are responsible for regulating the prices, those who are responsible for making sure that the streets are paved. Who are those responsible for that? If you're doing your part, you keeping the streets clean, you're making sure that taxpayers are supposed to pay the taxes, and you're not taking part of it in your pocket. What make you think that people would not simply just subscribe to what the government need? Because the people are part of the government. They help make the government function. But those of you who are getting paid, you get paid every month to get a piece of job done. Instead, you go and set your rear end in your offices. You're not doing the people job. Okay, how we supposed, and we want to say, oh, these things been happening all along. No, we have always had lazy group of people pretending to be government official. They are a bunch of lazy people. Lazy. Princess, have you listened to your lawbreakers calling themselves lawmakers in session?
Sure.
Have you listened to them? Bunch of kids who would take themselves and go sit in class. I remember when I was in grade school, my teacher didn't have to tell me on multiple occasions to keep quiet. We had to be mature enough. But you have grown men and women who left their kids at home, who's supposed to come and discuss policies, national issues, sit in session when their colleagues are supposed to be deliberating on national issues, where they're supposed to be taking notes so that they can speak to their constituents or constituencies. They will not do that. They are in there chit-chatting. They're talking among themselves.
Making
not even
fun.
paying attention. They're disrespecting themselves. They are disrespecting their colleagues, but they will come outside driving these luxurious cars and want you to respect them, and you still pay them $15. Then they end up as humanitarian. They behave as though the 500, 600, 300 they're giving you is the job that you hired them to do. They don't even know why they were hired. 80% of your lawmakers don't know why they were hired. They felt like upon their ascendancy, they're supposed to become humanitarians. You were never hired to become a humanitarian. You were hired to get a piece of job done. That is, you have normally the overly emphasized the three or cardinal responsibility: oversight. No, you have a lot to do. How are you engaging? How many of your lawmakers have direct contact that you, Princess, can sit over there today and pick up the phone and call your lawmaker's office and get to the receptionist, and the receptionist schedule a meeting for you to go and meet him or her? These things should not be rocket science. Go ahead, you got a call, Princess.
You're so right. They can never even tell you why they're running. They can never tell you, I am in the race because I want to make sure I work on healthcare. I'm in the race because I want to make sure my district participate and my district got job no matter what happened. That is why I'm in the race. But some of them, they're in the race because when they sit down for the $5,000 in 6 years, you got 2 cars, you got all this money. The next thing you in tinted glass. So some people, listen, we'll continue this topic and we're not going to stop. We'll hold you responsible. That is why when all these things happen, I think about one politician. I say, why this one politician gotta have an agenda and the other people are not saying nothing? When I hear this other politician saying that I don't need pay, the next thing they're afraid, oh, the man say he won't pay, he won't spoil our chopping. When I hear that politician talking about how we'll create jobs is by strengthening the private sector. How we'll fix the educational system? We must start from the foundation. We must train teachers first, not just by building schools. We need good roads. We need internet connectivities. We need good drinking water. Are we thinking about it? No. That is why if you talk about honesty, empathy, and integrity, you will call our name Alex Cummings. That is why we said that Alex Cummings must be given a chance 2029. That's why we said, and we're not going to apologize for that. It's not what I support him or not. They got a good candidates. We need to try someone new. These two parties are just doing this thing like friends. Look around. When this one win, the other one switch over. When they won't win, the guy switch over.
And they create more animosity.
Independent. Penner from Grand Jida, he was an independent candidate. He switched to CDC. Now he's the UP. The next time again, he will switch. So you see, guys, it's not that nobody working. There are few people. There are people in there. But they say one rotten apple mess up the whole thing. I was just watching the house just yesterday. Saw Yeke and other people disturbing like you in grade school, like you in elementary school. Yeah,
that's another thing.
Using profanity. Oh yes, you're going to do this to the other person here. I couldn't believe it. And it's on national. I know people fight in parliament. Let's be honest with you. But the way we do our things is so bad. Let's take 5 minutes and go to the border. We're fighting for land. We're trying to take land at the border. We're breaking houses down in Liberia. And listen, they got some, yes, they break the houses down. But people are losing their land. People who pay have deals. Other people bypassing, they're going to judges to sign. Now, Julius, we look at the border, and Guinea have withdrawn the troop. We know about the Marconi River, and we're not hearing from our government at all. I was just looking at Guinea. They were explaining to the people saying that everything is under control and whatsoever the president spoke, but we hear nothing from our government. People are afraid. Some of us who went through the war, we know what it means to eat palm cabbage. We know what it means to leave from Looking Town and you go in the bush and stay there for some time. So when we hear these things, we got concerned. Our military report laugh at us because you think the people don't know that our military will just get 2.5 and 2005. They know. But what are we doing? They're not explaining to us. The Marconi River, yes, divide Sierra Leone and Guinea, Liberia and Guinea. But nobody should use that river. I just heard they say, oh, we're building a road in for you, so we won't sand. Don't tell me you drilling, you got a whole drain, you taking sand. We don't know what coming with sand. They carry a whole machine there. Why you couldn't talk to them before? What the minister is standing around. So all these things, it's a problem. And when you look at it, they tell you say it's on Guinea side. But because of that, nobody should use the river. Nobody. So if you say I shouldn't use this river, then why you won't use the river? That's just a simple thing. Get out of it. Y'all hold your river. Let's just remain peaceful. But thank God. So just wait. Let's just do the 3 minutes, and then we can go to the last place there, and then go almost.
Well, Mother, the issue of
before Lofa Julius comes in, just to make the clarity, government did responded on yesterday as it relates to the situation at the border, Lofa and Guinea border, from the information ministry end. Yet they put up a release, concerning that particular situation. So, yeah, the release
now,
is right
before
now.
Julius come in,
yeah,
it's truth. How many Liberians read that release?
That's another thing.
Read to say, oh, I saw the release. Why are we fooling our people? Look, in Liberia, we respect our pastors and our leaders. Let President Bouaka stand up now and just go have a quick 10 minutes and speak to the nation. Nobody will talk again. The man put out release. I saw the release. But how many Liberians? Julius, you saw the release?
Well, actually, with doing the press conference, the bluff boy Jeremy Kear, as they refer to him now, actually he read it. So
yes, and I said, how many Liberians listen to it? It's on Facebook. It's on Furious. Finished, done. But anyway, just wait in, and so we can get to the next
regarding this border thing, and I want to go back to blaming our lawbreakers who get paid $15,000 monthly, because part of their responsibility is to help govern the state and to make sure that laws that are in place are acted adequately. Okay, that oversight responsibility was not simply listed. I really thought that they would have been very critical in session to discuss this with recommendations as to how they would proceed so that people can see some level of seriousness in them. I was very embarrassed yesterday when I told that session, they did that session to a colleague of mine. We were watching it. He was like, hold on, are they just fighting? I was like, this is their session. They're supposed to be engaging. They're supposed to be deliberating on national issues. And he was like, how do you understand what they're saying? You see how embarrassing it is? Grown men and women sitting in session can barely conduct themselves accordingly. But every month they get paid. And the most embarrassing part, when they don't get the gas slip, they get upset. When they don't get their per diems or whatever, okay, they're supposed to get, they get upset. But when Princess is stuck in traffic with no access to transportation, they don't care. Okay, they don't consider that they are Princess's employees. They don't consider that Ma Cecilia is one of their employer, even though she may be visually impaired. They're not taking these things into consideration. And that's part of the reason why, if you elect yourself a president who will start to lay out the foundation in the right direction, a lot of them will fall in line. They will fall in shape. Some of the things that are happening, they will not do it. We must start to hold these people accountable. That border thing, you would think that they are supposed to stay in session, act accordingly, discuss it thoroughly, and then go back to their constituents, especially the individual who's a district that falls in. He should now be in the district communicating with the people on various media platforms, educating the people on where we are, how we got there, what we're going to do to get out of it. Unfortunately, they're not doing that. So this is part of Liberia's problem. They run away from their responsibility. But when it's election time, they give the people handouts and feel like that is the way they can get out.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
And listen, lawmakers and Liberians, it is our problems. And sometimes if I get up today and say I try to contest, the next thing say, oh, I love Mr. Kishan. Oh, when I get ready, he can talk. You're not asking what I'm going to do. You're just going to follow me. We need to ask the question. That is why, again, we're coming to the end. And don't forget, every day by 7 o'clock, we have the LIB TV live on Kear Radio. Follow it. They always have good topics. And we'll continue this thing. This show is a long haul. We're not here for big shots. We want the ordinary Liberians to participate on this show. If you are listening to us and you say, oh, I want to be on the show tomorrow, just come, let us know. We will bring you on and hear from you. On Monday, we'll be having Leo. Leo will be on tomorrow. And I'm not tomorrow, I'm sorry. And on Monday, but we'll get all the details and we'll have a conversation. So Monday, he will be on with us. And now that's why we stay asking Liberians. Come 2029, we need to try something new. We have tried CDC, the UP, CDC, UP 2 times, and CDC. We stay in the circle. Nothing has changed. Liberians, we need to try people who will fix the economy. 2029 will be about the economy. It will be about job creation. It will be about healthcare. Don't tell me it will be about roads. Everybody wants roads. No opposition will ever criticize roads. But the fact is that there's no jobs. You can put the bridges, still there's no jobs. We need to work on our agriculture system. We need to help. Government needs to participate. Look, the people in the other country, they're not better than us. You go to Kenya, they are corrupt people there, but they're doing the best. You go to Nigeria, it's the same thing, but they are doing what they can do for the people. We can't even produce and we can't even help our citizens to get rich. Everything foreigner. That is why Mr. Cummings always emphasized on liberalization policy. He emphasized on how to create jobs. That's his area. So Liberians, we need to open our minds. Whether you supported CDC yesterday or UPO, but understand, Liberia is what matters. So let's talk on this. We need to try another person. Julius, what do you think? 2029.
Well,
we
Manette,
go back to the same CDC and UP again?
Manette, if you were to ask yourself the question, the hard question here is, with everything we're discussing, what does it boil down to? The economy.
Yes.
Okay. You ask yourself, even if you were to ask Princess in here, regardless of Princess' position, whether she's a part of a political party or she believes in any specific individual, she will tell you the economy. If you were to open this phone line, almost everybody who called here would tell you the phone line, the economy. So what will be better than to bring somebody who understands? Why would you want to be sick and then go to the mechanic when you're supposed to go to the doctor? Why would you want to be sick, or why you take it to the doctor instead of going to the mechanic? You're doing things in reverse. Right now, the biggest thing that Liberia needs is a manager. We don't need no politician. We don't need the politicians to do the politicking outside. When our economy is fixed, when young people can get jobs, when investors feel comfortable that they can come to Liberia and invest. And the competition between the government jobs and that of the private sector, when people start to willingly walk away from government jobs and say, you know what, if I'm in the private sector, I make more money than when I'm in government. So let me start going in that direction. You will see that people will focus, people will contribute, the economy will boom. But you cannot get it with a politician who simply talk. You must hire someone who understands it, not just based on the theory, but based on the practical aspect. Someone who have done it. If you have done it, you are able to do it. When you're waking up in the middle of the night, you can deliver. That is the kind of person we need. We need someone who will wake up early in the morning and say, bring me the current event. What is trending? Read, listen to his or her deliberation, and then say, okay, let's get to work. And that's what Mr. Alexander Cummings have often said. Have you ever had the opportunity to sit in a meeting with Mr. Cummings? This man is rarely late to any engagement. Matter of fact, he's always the first. He sit and wait for he or she who actually engage him or supposed to meet him. Now, what is so bad about him is the mere fact that he's principle-minded. And Liberian, we appear not to admire people who are principle-minded. We don't feel like those people should be a part of our circle. We should simply have people who we can easily manipulate and continue to manipulate the system. And that's the reason why you're finding it difficult. But anywhere else, Ghana, Ivory Coast, even here in the great United States, someone as good as Mr. Cummings, it would be one of the easiest decisions to make, especially considering his peers, those he's competing with, they have nothing to offer. But in Liberia, we're finding it difficult because we are just one step behind. But gradually, we will get there. We will make that turn. We will get there. The curve is deep, but once we put our head in it, we will be successful. And Liberia will definitely change. That's why some of us are courageous enough to get up as early as we are, to come on here and continue to remind our people that the possibility exists. But those we entrust with the responsibilities are the ones who are filling us continuously.
Yeah, that's true, Julius. And this topic will continue this topic. And on Saturday, 10 o'clock on this station, we'll be here again. We'll talk about the economy. We want to find out about this gas issue. We'll talk about job creation. And that's the fact. My people, you need to look at your candidates. Look at all the people who want to run. We have 50 political parties right now, if you don't know. Now, everybody want to be president. How many candidates you see going around today? He is the third option. He is. If you know what, UP afraid of him, CDC afraid of him. So they're doing everything now to face him in any one-on-one race because they know you, the Liberian pool, will change, will make that decision. So there are a lot of Liberians out there. We encourage people, we educate each other how to get it right. So we want to say thank you very much for joining us. This is Munel Kishen, and I got my best friend and my good friend, Julius. On the other side, I want to say, Julius, thank you very much. We will get used to it. It was not an easy thing to get up in the morning, especially someone who go to bed late.
I know, right?
That princess got to call me and say, General, we're having a show today. I say, hey, Jesus, what kind of trouble this? But that is it. I love my country, Liberia. We love Liberia. That is why we get up early in the morning for you to hear us. And Princess, thank you. And thanks to the Kear management for doing what we can do. And those of you listening, keep listening. And I say again, if you want to be part of the show, you are free anytime. And this show will do wonders. We will make sure our voice is in the 73 district in Liberia, not just Montserrat. In the entire country, we will continue to speak. And we're not insulting no one. We're not saying anything different, but we're just speaking facts. This is not a propaganda. This is real truth and hard truth. So thank you again. Guys, y'all have a beautiful day. And we're going to do our little 1-2-1-2 now.
Thank you, Princess.
Okay, so thanks to the team from the US. Again, this is the program Independent Mind for Better Liberia. Do join us on Monday, 10:30 for another edition. Quickly, let me acknowledge few of our followers, those who follow the program. Joseph Conto says, let's make Liberia affordable again, comes out 2029 by supporting and voting Mr. Alexander Benedict Cummings. And Catherine Gibson says, watching, we need debates, a show. So that's it, folks. Thanks to all of you always following this program, Independent Mind for Better Liberia. And thanks to the team. My name is Princess Kamara Baba from my end.
Oh, Liberia, wake up time, oh, time for the people to talk. Independent minds for a better Liberia. Independent minds, let the voices be heard. From Montserrat to Grande Bay, Lofa, Nimba and Bombi, Majibi, Bassa and Riverside, Refugee, Grand Croix and Sino. Ideals rising from every town, speaking the truth and lifting the nation. Progress, unity, transformation. Independent minds for a better Liberia. Independent minds, let the people speak. Hosted by Monir Keshin, the General. A strong voice for the people every day. Call out live on Kear Radio FM 95.9 and Top FM in Grand Gede. Streaming on KCNTV and TGNTV. Facebook,